Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. Welcome to the Mundane Matt channel. And you know what I'm not a fan of at all? Are people who are full of shit. Now, don't get me wrong. Everyone, to some extent, is absolutely 100% full of shit at some point in their life. All right? You might fib, you might lie, you might tell a grandiose tale, you might embellish something for effect. There are always reasons why these things happen. They're never good, but they happen. And when it comes to trying to get a rise out of someone, especially in this day and age, people have to keep taking shit to the next level in order to get their point across, to seek, I don't know, victimization, to try to get rewarded for that. It's a crazy, crazy, crazy scenario, but it keeps happening, especially in the university. So let's jump over here and take a look at this racist note that triggered protests at St. Olaf College. Turns out it was a load of shit. So, after a student said she found a racist note on her windshield last month, hundreds of St. Olaf College students gathered in the student union to protest, issuing demands, and even prompting the university to cancel class, because that's, unfortunately, the mindset of the whiny college student. I don't know if I necessarily want to call them whiny college liberal. I don't even know if that's even a word they could go by anymore, because they're not being liberal at all. They're using very borderline fascist responses in order to get their list of demands put out there. It's a whole crazy thing. But the note, as students learned, was fabricated. In a series of emails, St. Olaf's president David R. Anderson said administrators confronted a person of interest who confessed to writing the note, but the federal privacy laws kept him from identifying the author. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. A person fabricates a racist note, sparking this big pushback from the student body with lists of demands and making the university cancel classes. Then they find out that it's elite. You know, it didn't happen. It's fabricated, and the school's like, well, we can't actually identify this person. That person might be guilty of a crime. Don't you think? If they're guilty of a crime, then their name should be out there, because this is not something you protect people from. You know, that it's just a prank bro mentality doesn't really apply when it comes to racism. Now, the note was apparently a strategy to draw concerns about campus climate. This is coming from the president saying no ongoing threat from this incident. So basically, this person who wrote this note did so to draw attention to the current climate on college campus, especially St. Olaf's College in Minnesota. Okay. So you've got students that are protesting over a racist note, and the racist note was designed to incite said protest, right? When they say to draw attention, it's clearly indicative that that's what they were trying to go for. But it goes on to say here that the controversy began on April 29th when a senior named Samantha Wells used social media to show the racist note that had been left on her windshield. It read, "I'm so glad you are leaving soon. One less N-word at the school to deal with. You've spoken up too much. You will change nothing. Shut up or I will shut you up." And that's not the best thing to come to. It's not the best thing to come to at all. At least two other students at the school had also reported receiving notes. So it wasn't the person who had found the original note that was doing this. So that's what I thought at first too. I'm like, oh, the person who put it out there, they're clearly the ones who wrote the note themselves. Other people found it. Wells also told police that after she posted the video or posted the note on her windshield, she lit it on fire because she didn't want to look at it or have it anywhere near her. And then she also later declined to pursue a criminal case. Now, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because even though the note was made as a way to draw attention to the climate on the college campus, it was still racist as shit and is considered hate speech. It is considered hate speech, right? Because that was a threat. Shut up or I will shut you up is an absolute threat. And this woman wants to not press charges against the person doing it. It doesn't matter if it was a racist person, she would very much do it. But because it's not done in that mindset, oh well, slap on the wrist. No, come on. Come on. If someone left a note on my car, if a fellow whitey left a note like that on my car, I would still go to the police and go, you should probably do something about this because I don't want this shit to continue. You see, there has to be consequences to these actions. Her declining to prosecute or press charges is definitely an issue. Now, she didn't. She did tell the Star Tribune that she will be saying it's a hoax. She doesn't care, and there's nothing more that she can do. No, there is something more she can do. She can draw attention to this. She could stand up and use this as a way to bring about a conversation about why this kind of discussion needs to happen. Whether using racism as a tool to spark and incite protests on campus is not something that's going to benefit anybody. That's only going to further cause problems, only further bridge the racial divide, especially on college campuses. But no, there's nothing more I can do about it. It's taking the easy way out. It's not wanting to be a part of it. And I guess part of me understands that. I understand that from the perspective of not wanting to get entangled in these situations. It's not something she asked for, but now she finds herself in it, and I feel that there's a responsibility that she has in order to see this thing through to the end. You know, you may not always ask for these things, but sometimes they happen, and your best bet is to continue moving them forward. It goes on to say, though, after news of the note first spread, hundreds of students conducted a sit-in calling themselves the Collective for Change on the Hill. Students soon issued a list of demands, which included mandatory diversity training for all staff and students, because that's generally what happens. It's always the mandatory diversity training. Changes to the general education curriculum that would require students to take 2 classes on race, ethnicity, and gender, and the hiring of more people of color. Again, these are standard lists of demands that rarely ever get even remotely looked at. They also demanded that St. Olaf College remove one of its alumni, Arnie Christensen, from the advisory board of the Institute of Freedom and Community, which often invites guest speakers and to discuss and debate political and social issues. Saying here, given Mr. Christensen's political views and values as a Christian Zionist, St. Olaf College risks his influence upon the speakers brought to the school and educational offerings, faculty development workshops, and scholarships sanctioned by the Institute through financial means. So basically, this is a person of which they don't agree with politically, religiously, or ideologically, and they're afraid that this person will have definitely an impact on which kind of people come to the college and are able to give speeches. One of the biggest problems we've faced over the course of the past couple years is having, well, colorful characters come to college campuses, and we've seen a lot of shit that goes down as a result of this. And every time you have protests over someone coming to college campus to speak about an issue that is highly controversial, it only shows that you cannot take alternative viewpoints. Protest all you want, but don't bring out the fascism bullshit to try to shut shit down. Now, the Collective for Change on the Hill issued a statement on Wednesday calling the hoax a terrible revelation for us, adding that they unconditionally condemn such an attempt at fabrication because it questions the legitimacy of our demands for institutional change, reform that's long overdue. Meaning, in my opinion, one of the people in this photo you see on the screen right here, one of these kids is probably the douchebag that left those notes. Because this was what they were trying to do. This was their intent. Their intent was to spark this kind of revolution. If anything, by leaving those notes, that was kind of like taking out, the Archduke Ferdinand. It's just like 3 shots and maybe one of them will cause a riot enough to get this particular thing going. Because it kind of feels like, yeah, even though it happened at the end of last month and we're almost 2 weeks into May, it kind of feels like it rolled together relatively quickly. Like certain things were kind of set in motion when this thing kind of kicked off the way that it did. The climate for race and everything else on college campuses is a tinderbox, which does not take much to ignite anymore. And we've seen this time and time again. And so you see a bunch of people there. But the students also made it clear that they were not backing down from their demands, saying that a single hoax, well, technically it's not really single, there are 3 instances, but whatever, does not invalidate the experiences of others, and it does not invalidate institutional racism. In an interview with the Star Tribune, one sophomore said that the fake note had started something good, even if it was not necessarily the best way to get it started, which just cracks me up. It cracks me up because it's like, I'm not saying it discounts everything they're trying to do. It's kind of like when I'm critical of Black Lives Matter and I say that it was started based on a lie. This is very similar to that. It was started based on a lie. This is their hands up, don't shoot that never existed. This was a fabrication. This was this was an orchestration. And of course, it's going to be used as a way to continue issuing their demands because they feel that's the only way they're going to get some kind of justice in this world. Never mind the fact that once they leave college and go into the real world, none of this is going to matter. period, at all. Like, it just makes no sense to me. It's like, this is the biggest problem when it comes to college campuses. They are far too giving into these demands. They give into this shit all the damn time. And as we've seen with Mizzou and other colleges, the more you give into these demands, the more it shows the incoming student body, or even the students who aren't engaged in these protests, that you have zero control over your campus, zero control over what goes on there. And you're just going to give in to list and demands every time they pop up. And it shows that you have, well, zero confidence in your own ability to lead. Sometimes college kids, much like a lot of people out there that get worked up over fake issues, need to be told that these are fake issues and that this is not the way to go about them. Now, look, protesting is a right provided to us by the Constitution. It's one that I absolutely, positively agree in. Also, the Bill of Rights. You know, I completely am for them, the protest. I just find it funny that even though they know it's a lie, that everything was based on a lie, they're just like, well, we can't stop now, so let's keep going. And just the rest of us are just kind of left looking at it all and going, oh, fuck, here we go again. It's just another goddamn Thursday. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you think that this whole thing is stupid? Do you think that they should have waited for more information to come out before grabbing their torches and pitchforks, conducting a sit-in, and trying to demand all the changes on college campuses? Do you think that these people are ever going to be remotely prepared for the real world? That it's ever going to impact them the way that it's impacted their parents and their parents' parents, and so on and so forth? These are things I'm curious about. So go ahead and write it down in the comments below. I'm very curious to know your guys' thoughts. If you haven't already, thumbs up the video. You definitely want to subscribe to the channel. Check out the videos to the right. If you want to support the channel, right now we're basically kind of like running on independent donations. So Patreon, PayPal, Amazon affiliate. You guys can chit chat with me through monthly Patreon live streams. I'm on Discord. I do streams Sunday through Wednesday at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard here on YouTube. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.